Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm a naturopath from Australia, and today I would like to talk to you about fatty liver disease and the diet that you can use to help. It's very confusing out there. There's diets that say low fat, there's diets that say low carb, there's diets that say you should be vegetarian or vegan, and you get left with nothing at all to eat. So today I want to explain that to you. Okay, so today I want to talk about four things. What causes fatty liver disease in the first place, things to include in your diet, things to exclude into your diet, and some lifestyle changes that can also make a good difference. Okay, so what causes fatty liver disease in the first place? So first of all, I want to talk about the two types of fatty liver disease. The first type that was discovered or known about was alcoholic fatty liver disease. And basically, the slang term is like a beer gut. You would see that fat accumulate around the abdominal organs, and it was known because it was excess alcohol consumption. But what's happened in more recent years as our diet gets worse is as a culture we now have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, where the liver can be just as diseased even in a person who never consumes any alcohol. So we want to talk about both of those things and how it affects you. What you need to understand firstly is how the liver works. So when the liver receives energy in the form of glucose, it stores it. Now this is really good because what it does is it stores enough of it overnight for us so that we've got enough energy so that we can go all night without eating. And you see in like babies who are very small and don't have a well-developed liver, they don't have that capacity to store the food overnight, hence they need to wake up in the night and eat. But with us, we've got this liver that stores all the energy that we need. But what happens is in the day, if you take in more energy than what you need, you will find that your liver is storing more energy as fat than what it needs, and it's going into a state of disrepair, which is known as fatty liver disease. So another thing to explain to you is that when you consume alcohol, it's broken down into a form of glucose, which is stored as fat for energy. Most people know that drinking a lot of alcohol is fattening, and that is why. The other thing that can happen is if you consume a lot of sugar, metabolically, it's very similar to the alcohol, and so it's stored in the same way in the liver. But then we also get people who don't eat a lot of sugar, they don't drink a lot, and yet they've got fatty liver disease. What's going on here? The white refined carbohydrates are broken down very similarly to the white sugar and to the alcohol. And so your body is hit with the same thing. If you're getting too much energy coming in too fast all at once, it causes your liver to hold on to more energy than what it needs, and it puts it into this disease state of fatty liver disease. I also wanted to talk to you about the different types of carbohydrates and fats. So they're not all the same. Everybody knows that a donut is generally unhealthy. What does it contain? Largely white flour and a fat that it's been fried in. Now a carrot is also really high in carbs, and if you've got a carrot stick and put it in some guacamole, you also have something that is high in carbohydrates and high in fats. But one is healthy and one is not. So what's the difference here? So what we find is that the carrot, it has the fibre in it. So the fibre means that the energy from the carbohydrates are broken down slower, and it doesn't give you a sudden glucose spike. It actually slowly releases the sugars and gives you the energy over time. As opposed to the donut where the white flour will give you this rush of energy and you'll hit this slump afterwards. With the fats, the avocado is the fat, and it's in a very natural form. You know how to make guacamole. You mash up your avocado and maybe add some lemon juice or whatever, and there it is. With your fat that your donut is fried in, it's often vegetable oils that are heat extracted. So a lot of the goodness and the ability for us to break them down has been destroyed in this process of heating them. And that also causes a problem for your liver, because your liver is such a major part of your digestion and your metabolism, and it can't break them down well. So it's not about whether it's carbs or whether it's fat, it's the type of carbs and the types of fat. Okay, so the types of foods to include. The foods to include, we're going to start with fruit and vegetables. These are the obvious places. Because fruit can be higher in glucose, if you have fatty liver, limit your fruit to 1 piece a day and eat plenty of vegetables. The vegetables provide fibre for your gut bacteria, they slow down the release of that energy, and they really give you a really good solid source of carbohydrates that's not going to overwhelm your liver. If you want to choose particularly well vegetables, leafy green vegetables are very good for your liver, especially bitter ones. So rocket, dandelion, leaf tea is another one. But the more bitter greens, or even a sour green. I have this spinach plant that I had bought at a market years ago, and it's a Spanish spinach, and it's more sour than the spinach that I would buy from my fruit and veg shop or my supermarket. And that sour or bitter taste is what's really good for your liver. Okay, so after fruit and vegetables, what are we going to do next? We need to have good sources of fats. Now, sources of fats that you want to have are in their natural source. One of the most anti-inflammatory fats are the omega-3 fatty acids, and they are found in oily fish like salmon or mackerel. So good to work against inflammation and disease anywhere in your body, especially in the liver as well as the cardiovascular system. So other sources of fats include lean unprocessed meat, nuts and seeds. I'm someone who believes in avocado and butter. Not everybody agrees with me on that, so you can make your own choice there, but definitely avocado, olive oil, fats in their natural form that you know how to make from their natural source. And the other thing is you want protein. If you don't eat enough protein, you will be hungry and craving those carbs. So you want to have unprocessed meat, and you want to have legumes like pulses and beans and nuts and seeds and eggs and dairy, really good sources. And protein actually repairs. Every cell in your body needs protein to repair. So if you're trying to repair your fatty liver, you want to be eating protein with every meal. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to talk about here was grains. So you want to eat whole grains. Brown rice, wholemeal bread, quinoa is lovely because it is also high in protein. Buckwheat is another nice one that also contains some protein. So you want whole grain proteins. Your body's not going to get that spike of sudden energy from them. The fibre means that your body's metabolizing it slower, and you're getting that energy slower over time, and your liver isn't getting that influx. So foods to exclude from your diet. So we need to start with what caused the problem. If you have been someone that has drunk a lot of alcohol, you want to be reducing that. If you're someone who is eating a lot of sugar, reduce that. White grains, reduce that. Often someone has been eating all three of those things, and these are the things that need to go. I promise you that there is joy in a diet without those things once you adjust to your new diet, and you will have so much more energy, and your body will have the nutrients that you need to feel satisfied. So some alternatives: if you're used to a lot of sugar, go for something natural. Don't go for chemical sweeteners. Often they can be worse for you than the sugar. If you need something sweet, have a piece of fruit, some dried fruit, honey, maple syrup, coconut sugar, but don't overdo it. The natural sugars are better for you than the white sugar, but your body needs to adjust from a diet where you're eating very sweet foods to when you start to enjoy some of the savoury flavours. So you want to be cutting those out of your diet. And if you're eating a lot of white grains, if you cook for yourself, it's very easy to switch to either the whole meal. If you want to go a step further, there's things you can get like cauliflower rice, which is a great alternative to rice, and it's just made of cauliflower, so you're just increasing your vegetables there. There's another thing you can do called cabbage noodles, where you slice up a cabbage and you put it on an oven tray and you're making your noodles there. But start with simple steps because you don't want to make it too hard for yourself all at once. The other foods you want to exclude are vegetable oils. So cold pressed olive oil is awesome for you, but vegetable oils are often heat extracted and they have destroyed any of the goodness in the oil in that process. So yes, I want fats in your diet, but in their natural form. Olive oil, and for me, I think that butter and coconut oil are awesome choices as well. So make sure that you include fats in your diet because the fats actually help to take the burden off the liver, because it will give you energy in a source that isn't the carbohydrates. Lifestyle changes for fatty liver disease. So the first lifestyle change I would like you to make is not what you would think it is reduce your stress. When you are stressed, you eat badly. You will crave alcohol, you will crave sweet foods, your body will crave those foods that give you that really quick glucose. Find a way to manage your stress. And if you are used to rewarding yourself with unhealthy food or with alcohol, you need to find something else that's special. Maybe it's a walk or something that's healthy like that. Like for me, to de-stress at the end of the day, I love to go for a walk in the forest where it's calm and it's quiet. It just feels relaxing and refreshing. I also like to drink herbal teas. I have teas that I find very special and they can be rewards, but find the thing that's special for you that isn't those things that are damaging your liver. And if there's anything that is in your life that is causing you a lot of stress, sometimes we can remove those stressors, sometimes we can't, but if you can, eliminate stress in your world and it will help you make those better food choices. The second thing I want to talk about, which is the more obvious one, is exercise. If you don't exercise at all, starting to exercise will improve your metabolism and help your liver to reduce that fatty load. If you don't exercise at all, start with walking 10 minutes every day. Obviously, if you're injured, take that into consideration and get advice from someone who can help you there. But start to move your body because moving your body is not just for weight loss. It has so many health benefits in your body, and it's such an important thing to do to move your body from a disease state to a state of health. With your dietary changes, they are going to need to be long-term. If you have a disease that has been brought on by poor diet, that diet is not only contributing to your disease state, but it has caused it. So you want to remove that from your diet, those foods that I've talked about earlier that cause your problems. You don't want them there. Another thing that you can start to try, and do this, really be gauged by how you feel. If you wake up in the morning and you're not hungry, we can look into fasting. To start with, I would recommend with breakfast. If you wake up in the morning and you're not hungry, don't eat breakfast. Be guided by how you feel. If you're lightheaded at any stage, if you're ravenously hungry at any stage, you can use that to guide how your body is. But usually with fatty liver disease, your body has more stores of energy than what it needs. And by giving your body a longer period of time overnight, it gives your body that chance to use up those stores of fats that it has there as an energy source. So that's a really good way. If you have any questions or any problems, see a healthcare professional who can help you through that. But usually by cutting out breakfast, most of us find that that works really well and it's not a problem. And a lot of people actually feel really good on that. So I just wanted to say one more thing, that if you really crave sugar, and sugar is something that you really struggle with, and this has been a problem for your fatty liver disease, here is my video on how to reduce your sugar cravings, and that's something that can help you further with that. Have a lovely day. See you later.